Howdy y'all, it's me. I'm back for my 2025 favorite albums of the year. I checked back at my video from last year and I must say, not as many finds this year. My stack of vinyls and CDs are quite small, but still there's some things worth listening to that I'm going to share with you now. Also this year, unfortunately, I am blonde, which is, I was going to say not my pick, but I'm the one who bleached my hair, right? But anyway, don't worry. Whenever it happens, it will happen. The red hair will be back. Anyway, a little aside there. I really thought that this year was a little disappointing because simply because none of my favorite artists put anything out. And then I thought about it a little bit and I realized I'm wrong. Nearly most of my favorite artists did release something. I just wasn't that into it. So I just have a few honorable mentions here that I will try not to talk about at length. If I was absolutely forced to name my favorite singer, it would be Alex Johnson, and she put out an album right in the beginning of January titled Salvage, which is nice. Good album, but the lyrical themes of her most recent music have really shifted a lot with just, as her life progresses and she's gotten married and having kids. And I still think she's a great artist, great singer, but I don't go out of my way to listen to music that the best word I can think of to describe it is just like sentimental. Not always my thing, not what I'm looking for. But there's one track on that album, Making Friends with Grieving, that I thought was pretty good. I enjoyed that one. Her previous release dealt with, loss. And that album and this song is really kind of like staring into the void. Kind of like, a crow looked at me type beat. But, maybe I will revisit it sooner or later. Then I have the Miley Cyrus album, Something Beautiful. I thought it was a really great cinematic album. There's a kid outside shoveling snow near my car, and I'm just like, not going to be paying him for this. He's a volunteer as far as I'm concerned. Could this be her best album release of all time? It's very possible. I think it was an amazing album. Just very cinematic though, so it's not something that I went to listen to over and over. But the title track at first, was pretty jarring, but that grew on me so much, and I think she really took some risks, did whatever she wanted to. I'm glad it wasn't a repeat of Endless Summer Vacation, because that album, it might be a fun listen, but the first time I played it through, I actually laughed out loud at how bad it was. But I think she did great work. Is she getting her flowers now that she deserves for this album? Probably not. I saw some things online of people saying like it's her fault. She didn't promote it enough. Maybe that's the case, I don't know. Maybe in a few years, me and everyone else will appreciate this even more. I was forced to name my second favorite artist. It would be Danz CM, formerly known as Computer Magic. She just put out an EP pretty recently titled Larm, I believe. It's a German word. Hope I'm saying that correct. Wonderful, once again, but it's majority instrumental, which she does release off and on. I think she does great work with instrumental. It's not what I wanted from her. I'm still waiting for, just a little bit of singing, but hey, I'm letting her cook. She can do her thing. It's a good bedtime listen, I'd say. My final mention, I could go on about this person a lot because us media vultures just love to tear her apart. I'm very scared to say this name. Very scared. I've been withholding it for a long time. Not that this channel is getting a whole lot of traffic, right? But it's just like in the back of my mind, it's like, you never know. If I mention this person, I say something even slightly negative, and the stands come out and I never see the light of day again. But anyway, I'm a fan. Let me preface this by saying I'm a fan. I've been a fan for decades, as most of us have. It's Taylor Swift. Now, I didn't even mention at all Tortured Poets last year because I have had this thing ever since Lover, actually. She releases an album. I hate it. That's happened with most of them literally since Lover, which is kind of crazy because before that, everything I thought was great. And I was a Reputation stan since day one. You know, I never hated it, unlike most people. Which is funny because that's pretty much sometimes regarded as her worst album. The opinions on her are endless. So do I need to throw my 2 cents in on this album? No, but here it goes. Since I had a love-hate relationship with some albums, I actually started warming up to Tortured Poets this year. So when this album came out, I had no expectations whatsoever, none, because I know how this usually goes. The Life of a Showgirl, by the way, if you didn't have that written across your sky somewhere, you would have the best chance of liking this album if you're a big 1989 fan, which I always rank the lowest for me personally. So that might color things here. But for me, basically, it's like a nice 5-song EP. Did she hit it out of the park for me, in my opinion? No. And what's the funniest about Taylor Swift is with some of her fans, it's like, I hope that it's coming from people 12 and under that will be like, if you dislike this, you're wrong. It's perfect. So if ever I speak of her or anything, I would never say that honestly any of her music is bad. I would just say, I don't like it. And just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's bad. That's the kind of something you learn when you're 8, but some people don't get that and they defend her relentlessly. She is deity in the sky, but whatever. So for me though, it's like a nice 5-track EP. Fate of Ophelia, fine. Elizabeth Taylor, that might be my favorite song. Opalite, it's all good. I actually really like Father Figure, the clean version. Keep that in mind, the clean version. I thought it was very clever with what she did, and the interpolation from George Michael. So I really like that song. Then, track 5, it's going to be a hard skip for me. Doesn't mean it's bad. It might be the perfect song, and I'm garbage of a person. But for me, it's a skip. And then I'll listen to Ruin the Friendship, which was a kind of cute throwback, I thought. Very kind of like Fearless, maybe Speak Now coded. And then I gotta just keep hitting skip. No comment. But then, the final track, Life of a Showgirl, by the time I got there, it was very refreshing to hear Sabrina Carpenter's voice, I must say. But hey, I still listen to this a good amount. I have to resist the nonstop urge to call him Bon Iver. It's Bon Iver with Sable, Fable. This came out in about April, by the way. I will be going in chronological order. Picked it up on vinyl, little gift to myself. Standard fare, you can expect him to release something that's got to be somewhat decent, right? But this one, I think he does a really nice job of always staying true to his style, but he still does new and interesting things and can change it up and, really keep me interested. Things Behind Things was great. Everything is Peaceful Love. What a beautiful jam. And there's a rhythm like that one too, but the ultimate standout track for me was Awards Season. What a gorgeous, stunning song. This was kind of a surprising find and like for me because I feel like it's nearly spoken word. I guess technically it would be. There's like a little bit of instrumentation towards the end. But man, beautiful song. I'm sure I've cried more than once listening to it. Just with the lyrics, it's just like, he can say a lot in very few words. He's great at that. And just conjure up such good, like, familiar imagery in just a few words. I think this was a really, really solid release from him. Okay, now I'm out of order because now I'm going to talk about something that came out in March and that comes before April. Oops. But it was the Lady Gaga album, Mayhem. Same kind of deal of someone who can consistently, pretty much always have a good release. I enjoyed Chromatica back during 2020. I was ready for her to come back, kind of classic fame monster Gaga, and I really think she did a nice job doing that, but not too pandering to, 2008. Very nicely updated, I'd say. I just really feel like she did everything she needed to on this album. It's so hard for me to pick between Disease and Abracadabra, not that I need to. I really wish those would have blown up more as singles because I thought they were both just like perfect for her. This was just a great album, guys. I really enjoyed Perfect Celebrity, Vanish Into You. I thought was very cool. How Bad Do You Want Me? That song always makes me chuckle. I liked it a lot. And those are my standout tracks. Honestly, I think definitely for me, the best pop release of this year. Next up, this is only an EP, but I absolutely had to mention it because all three of the tracks were at the very top of my Apple Music wrap-up most listened to songs. Lewis and the Yakuza, and the EP was called No Big Deal. Only 3 songs, but I listened to them nonstop. Up until now, as far as I know, all her music is in French. And on this one, there's one song entirely in French. Then I heard the other one where she peppered in a little English. And then there's actually one entirely English song on this EP, which was pretty surprising to hear. Even though I really enjoyed them, I just feel like she can do whatever she wants. I don't know what her reasoning was for switching up the language, but I feel like there's definitely absolutely no need to try to transfer over into English. Like, the English language is very silly, In June came out Never Enough by Turnstile, which I am a new fan of these guys. I know little to nothing about them. Would I have gotten this on vinyl if I didn't find it in the clearance section for less than $20? Perhaps not. But this is like the epitome of easy listening, in my opinion. I had kind of heard their name a little bit in the past, but I sought out their music when I saw they had a Tiny Desk concert for NPR, and someone was like crowd surfing during it, which I thought that was like really cool. So that led me to check this out. And yeah, this is like gold for me. I really like Never Enough, the first track. I Care is probably my favorite. Just, you cannot go wrong if you like alternative or rock at all. You will love this. Then also in June came out I Quit by Haim. This is definitely a switch up from their previous releases. I'm not a mega fan of theirs. I haven't listened to them in depth. Probably their first album I've listened to the most. My favorite hands down track is number 1, Gone. Now I'm gone. I'm leaving, So I love that one. Down to Be Wrong was very cool. I don't really listen to a lot of country music, basically none, but the slight country influence twang on this, I'm interested. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't hear the Shania Twain comparison sooner, but I can definitely hear that. If other people are telling you it's a 2, it sucks, that means it's probably pretty great. I have not heard a single person mention this album, probably because it was just sort of an anomaly. I don't know what it was. In August, Kid Cudi came out with an album titled Free. Now, I like when Cudi switches up his genre. Usually is not, doesn't spell well for him, but I'm always here for it. So this, he actually sort of leaned into pop, I guess you could say. I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was fun, sentimental. I truly just feel like it was absolutely not on anyone's radar. I guess there's a reason for that. It was, you know, it wasn't like a smash hit or something, but I listened to it all the time this summer at work. Then moving way ahead to October, Tame Impala finally came back to us with his album Deadbeat. I know this was not received very well as far as I ever heard. It was kind of a change up for him, because listening to it, really the only, like, the most solid track is clearly Dracula. And everything else on it, I was listening to it thinking, like, this would have made sense if he just put out a couple EPs. You know, I don't think anyone would have batted an eye, but for all this to be on the album, people weren't enjoying it. That's where I come in and say, it's great. Mild Ways, I really like that a lot. Great opener. No Reply, I guess that's my second favorite because Dracula, clearly great. Loser, I did not like at first, but eventually it grew on me. Oblivion, I also really like, and Not My World. Piece of Heaven, I'm probably going to skip. Obsolete, I love. Ethereal Connection, it's definitely a hard listen. I feel like you have to be in the mood for it, which I don't think I have been yet. But then See You on Monday, I like that one a lot. Afterthought, I could take it or leave it. And End of Summer also grew on me as well. I could edit out that whole dance house intro and be just as happy. Is this different than everything else he's put out? Yes. Is it not as good? I guess so, but I still liked it. I'm not sure when this came out. It's Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party by Hayley Williams. The album rollout with this was unique. Definitely unique. I guess at the time, I feel like I was not feeling whimsical enough to indulge in what she was doing because the album didn't come out and it wasn't just one or two singles. It was like 16 singles all at once. So I kind of ignored it for a while. Somehow I felt like I wouldn't like it. Her first album, though, was great. I love Petals for Armor. And then her second follow-up release, I think that was what? Flowers for Vases. That one I was really, really iffy on. I gotta mention why I've been a Paramore fan, not a humongous fan, but what really turned me on to her solo work at all was her producer, Daniel James, who in the past put out a few releases under the name Canon Blue. I have a vinyl sitting back there to give an ode to him. I adore his work. He's not doing any solo work now. It's been a while, but he put out 3 albums, which are like the top of my whole lifetime for me. So he worked with her, I think not completely with her first album. This one he did the whole thing, I believe. So that, you know, that's got me interested. I love his work. So whenever she finally wrapped this all up for us, gave it a title, gave it a full album release, I think it was really just like a month or so ago that it was like physical copies out. This is a very interesting album that I want to like it, and I do like it. But sometimes I try to avoid listening to music that's so sad because I think to myself, I'm already sad. I don't want to make it worse. Unless I'm truly sad and I can listen to music that's sad, that's about nothing, that will kind of make me feel a little bit better. If I deem that the problems the person is singing about are not as bad as mine. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, another long album, which is fine, an hour. The first track, Ice in My OJ, I thought that was so interesting of Hayley Williams to sample this like children's Christian song she sung on when she was like 13 is like totally unexpected. There are several skips for me. Then Glum comes on. It's like, I like it, but I don't want to hear it, guys. I'm already Glum. I'm Glum X 1000, so I don't know what to do with this. You know, Mirtazapine, cool, funny. Maybe my favorite song is Disappearing Man. Definitely check that out. Beautiful, lovely, gorgeous song. But then things like Brotherly Hate, it's like, I'm going to skip that. And Negative Self-Talk, I'm going to skip. Then when she released 3 more tracks before the album was all done, when I heard Parachute, my iceberg heart melted immediately. What a gut-wrenching song. Now, that song alone deserves an award. I really think so. And then also Good Old Days. That's like my 3rd favorite song. I adore that song. And this one, it's like it almost gets the pass for being extremely depressing, but it's just so catchy. So I really like 10 out of 10 song for me. I mean, Parachute is too. And then Showbiz, the last song, is really great also. Definitely a solid release from her. I'd love it if she kept doing solo music. I don't know what the status of the band is right now, but this was a really good album. I can't believe I literally only have 4 physical things. And I only have 2 more to mention here. One of my ultimate favorite artists, Damien Jurado, came out with an album this year titled Private Hospital. He also, I'm just going to mention, he was releasing a lot this year over on his Bandcamp. Some singles were, I believe, reworks from things in the past or things he had never released digitally. It was a lot of singles. Put out a 2-song single. It's called We Will Provide Lightning, but there's 2 tracks on it, The Notes of Seasons and We Are What We Dream. Absolutely incredible songs from him. I don't know if he genre shifts, but he, will multi-genre artist, I guess. And now at this point, it's like I never know what he's going to release, but that I really liked a lot. And then also, he released a few versions of an older song called Paper Canoe. It's a beautiful song, guys. I look at the lyrics to that and I'm like, I wish I wrote this song. I don't know why. It's just such a beautiful, lovely song. But anyway, back to the album. This was only released in book form. Yep, book form. Hey, good on him. He has his own style on his own. And my favorite track is Howard Morton. Very cool. Vampira is great. Kind of a short, quick album from him. 32 minutes. I really wish it was longer. I've liked this one a lot. I've been listening to it almost the most at the end of the year here. And I know with him, I won't have to wait long for a new release because he has like over 20 albums. I haven't listened to them all in depth. I can admit that. I'm not, I'm a wannabe super fan, but yeah, always happy to hear something new from him. Finally, just came out about a week ago now, is Triangles by Faded Paper Figures, one of my favorite bands. I was really waiting since the spring for this one too. I think they do a wonderful job at doing new things. And this album really, I don't know what it was, had some unexpected moments for me. Even on the first track, Astronauts of Inner Space, it's like they always put out cool and interesting music, but still it caught me off guard. Really like that song, and Another Silence. Just so good. If I had more time with this album, I might be, you know, raving about it. Like, it's number one. It's my brat. But, Charlie, you know. But, yeah, it just came out. Out of Control, good. Couple skips for me. Garden Path Sentience, very cool too. I like Nothing More. It's a little anti-AI sort of anthem. Interesting. I guess my favorite right now is probably Breaking Everything. I wish I wrote that song too. I'm ready for that to become like one of my theme songs. I really love it. So these guys are great. Wonderful. Maybe eventually I'll purchase this on vinyl or cassette. I guess that's sort of it. This felt very short. I don't know what was with this year. There was more things that I, you know, listened to here and there, but I don't really have a formulated opinion on. Yeah, I really wish there was more. Hopefully next year will be more things, because this was really very so-so. My number one album and like in my top songs was just How I'm Feeling Now by Charlie XCX, which I play on repeat. You know, there was nothing this year life-changing close to Brat, and that's okay. I guess we can't expect that every year. Anyway, thanks for watching.